This is Jim Sens over at the Caddis Fly. Today we're going to be tying up a little soft hackle fly for swinging for some trout on your Trout Spey. Hope you guys enjoy the video and get out and tie some. Today we're going to be using this little hook to tie up this little fly. It's a fun little swinging fly. I love it on my Trout Spey rod. As soon as the rivers get back in fishable conditions again. We've gotten a lot of rain in Oregon the last week or so. I've been dealing with some high blown out waters. Tie your thread back to about between the point of the hook and the gap, about halfway between, right there. And then we're going to tie in some gold hollow tinsel in size large, just so I don't have to do a million wraps to go up. Get that, and then we come up, try to keep the body fairly uniform. Now we're going to tie in our black medium wire. I like it in medium so that it creates a good ribbing effect. More so than anything else, it's just kind of there to give it a good ribbing to the fly. Because I will run down the thread base with some super glue before I tie down the gold tinsel. So. Or hollow tinsel. A little bit of super glue. Just wrap this down.
Caddis Fly Shop.
That super glue pretty much makes the body of this fly indestructible. And then once you put the wire on it, this fly will catch so many fish before you have to retire it. The hackles will fall off before the body breaks, which is nice. If you're going to spend a few minutes tying a fly, you might as well make sure it lasts. And then you're going to counter wrap. I like to wrap one right behind the end of the body and then wrap it up 4 or 5 times. It's all kind of personal taste. And then once you get to this point, I like to pinch right here, take my thread, grab it, and just get it on there. And then you can bend it back, pinch it really good so it's like up against the hook, and you can wrap over that as well, and then it's not going anywhere. Helicopter it off. Medium wire takes a little while to kind of helicopter it, but once you get it, you got it. Now we're going to take some ice dub in pheasant tail. This is going to create a little bump for our hackles to sit up against so they poof out nicely. Not like a decent sized bump on this, because as you fish this fly, this stuff will get more wispy and sparkly behind it. I don't add any other flash in this fly besides what's in this and what's in the dubbing. Lay down a little thread base right at the front there, and now we're gonna make a little loop to put some ostrich in. And what I did there is I took my thread and wrapped it around twice, because this is only 8/0 thread, and this is a little tip that Jonathan Farmer from Midnight Sun Custom Flies taught me. It'll essentially make whatever thin thread that you're doing super strong, so you can spin it and you don't have to worry about it breaking. I'll take my little dubbing spinner and some wax, stick it like that for right now. Now that part's ready, I can sit here and pick out about 1/2 inch of ostrich. This is MFC in black. I love their ostrich, especially for little trout flies, because it's super thin and wispy. You want this to be about the length of the hook. You want it to terminate just before the bend of the edge of the hook, so you want it to kind of come down right at the inside of that bend. Stick that in right at that point, let go gently, pull tight, and then you cut off the little ends as close as you can, like that. And then you can take and just gently slide them apart a little bit. You basically want it to be about 1/4 inch wide so you can do one wrap around the hook. You spin it up, let it go, and those are locked in there. And this should be enough to make one full wrap once I get the gap. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. I'm trying to keep that up against that dubbing ball, like so. And wrap it around twice, and then work forward, and then I like to take the thread and pin it back and wrap over the top of it too, so it's like never coming out, just like that. Got a little ostrich stuck there. Cut that off. Now next I have some barred soft hackle and olive. This stuff creates a nice little collar for it, and these fibers should be a smidge shorter than what your ostrich is, so it's more of like a secondary finishing collar than covering up the black ostrich. And they'll both kind of move independently in the water too, which is really nice. 3 wraps, fold the tip back, 3 wraps, and then get in there and carefully cut out the tip. Like so. And pull this up, pinch everything back so when you wrap it, it just lays. Like so. You should get about 3 wraps of this stuff. Just like that. 3 wraps, pull the stem back, wrap over it, keep that locked in, wrap down. Now I can cut this off. And this fly is almost done. All we have to do is whip finish it, and then I like to use a little bit of UV on the head of it. Today I'm going to be using some Deer Creek. This stuff is probably my favorite UV resin on the planet. And then what I do is I take and I just drip a little bit in the bottom end of this cup. And then I use something pointy and sharp that hopefully I don't stick myself. So I can just gently place it on there. Take your time with this part. It's just mainly it's going to seal everything in, but you also want to create a nice shiny head just for anybody that's inspecting your fly. It makes them more impressed when it's all shiny and pretty, because humans like shiny things. Little UV, only takes a few seconds. That fly's done. You can get everything at Caddis.